Donald Trump has not only confessed that he wants to overturn the election. This is actually the exact quote from his statement. He said, if the vice president, parenthesis, Mike Pence, close parenthesis, had, quote, absolutely no right, end quote, to change the presidential election results in the Senate, despite fraud and many other irregularities, how come the Democrats and rhino Republicans like wacky Susan Collins are desperately trying to pass legislation that will not allow the vice president to change the results of the election? Actually, what they are saying, Trump wrote this weekend, is that Mike Pence did have the right to change the outcome, and they now want to take that right away. Unfortunately, he didn't exercise that power. He could have overturned the election, exclamation mark. Now, George Conway comes out and says, you know, quote, the answer is the 12th Amendment and the Electoral Count Act of 1887 already make it entirely clear that the vice president merely opens the envelopes. But sometimes we want to make laws even clearer so that even semi-literate psychopaths have a chance at understanding them. Meanwhile, Trump's call to arms has become literally a call to arms. We've got Republicans in Michigan who are, I mean, this is just beyond the pale. Ryan Kelly is a candidate for governor of Michigan. He's a Republican. He was in Washington, D.C. for January 6th. He told an audience at a Livingston County meet and greet to tamper with the vote by unplugging voting machines if, quote, you see something like you don't like happening. Right. Like what? Black people voting? Republican candidate Mike Detmer went even farther. He said, quote, the Second Amendment isn't there for hunting rights. It's not there for self-defense. The American people need to be prepared to lock and load. So if you ask, what can we do? Show up armed. Right. Go to the polling places, and if you see anything you don't like, you know, black people voting, or Hispanic people voting, or people who look like they may be old hippies voting, or somebody who looks like they might be college-educated voting, or somebody who looks like they might be a union member voting, or maybe a woman voting. If you see any of that, who's not wearing a Trump hat, if you see any of those things happening, you know, just whip out your gun. Is that, seriously? The Attorney General, Dana Nessel, the Attorney General for Michigan, says the Republican Party, she asked, is the Republican Party, will they condemn the encouragement of felonious acts by its candidates for office? And this one candidate, Detmer, who I just quoted, he said, the Attorney General and the libs are upset with him. Right.